Welcome back, everyone. I am Zadian. This is Kerbal Space Program, and today, people, we're gonna get the fruits of our labor. That's right, people. Today, we're gonna go around to several different biomes on Minmus and collect that beautiful, beautiful science. Turns out, I did land in a place that it already collected the science, so we kind of wasted the landing. We're going to be able to hit 3 biomes before we run out of fuel. At least 3 biomes before we run out of fuel. Again, this thing doesn't have too terrible much fuel, but you got to remember, we've got to have enough fuel to get back home. So, you know, and I wasn't as efficient with my burns going to these different biomes as I should have been. So, yeah. We're not going to get as many as I wanted. But, on a side note, this should be way more than enough science to get us going. Because remember, we're going to take all the science from these landings and from all these different biomes. And we're not going to beam them back. We're not going to land them on Kerbin. We're actually going to take them to our Skylab, our little science lab around orbit in Kerbin. We're going to dock, and we are going to take all that sweet, sweet, beautiful science, and we're going to make it more science by putting it in the lab and letting our scientists work on it over time. And what are we going to do over that time? Well, you'll see. You'll see. You just got to wait and see. Got to tease you a little bit. So you'll find out what we do with that next episode. But for today, we're going to be going around about different biomes. And apparently jumping around on Minmus because the gravity is so low. Like I said in the previous episode, the gravity here is so low that you can actually maneuver around with just RCS thrusters. Now this thing is a little bit heavy, especially with the batteries and the life support. And pretty much all the science we got on it does get a little weight, but it does have the ability to gain altitude. I could probably even put it into orbit using just the RCS thrusters. It wouldn't be very efficient and it'd be very slow, but it is something that is doable with this this type of build. And that's one of the things I do like about this design, is that it is versatile and it separates and everything like that. It's everything you want in a lander. It's got everything. I don't know. It's just, I really like the build, and it's capable of doing a lot of things, which is really good. So, that being said, guys, remember last episode when I said, if you leave a comment down in the comment section below, I might feature you in the next video? It's that time. I did say I was going to pick my favorite comment. However, there are so many good comments that I'm probably going to feature at least 2 in this episode. The first one being it would be from Jolly Roger, where he says circularize, LMAO. I have trouble with that too. Try saying I'm getting closer to orbital burn, or I'm going to set my orbital burn or something. Ideas for SSTO: try vertical launch craft and SSTO rocket if you will. An SSTO rocket if you will, but. Oh, okay, he's saying SSTO rocket. See, I probably should tell you guys something a little bit about myself. I'm dyslexic as fuck. I really am. I've dealt with it my entire life. So reading other people's statements out loud is probably not the best idea for me to do. I'm still going to do it. Anyways, he said an SSTO rocket, if you will, but with wings for re-entry, or just go with a reusable/recoverable rocket. It's a fair point. I probably have a better chance of doing that than anything else. Reusable rockets is probably more in my realm of grasp of being able to do. There is a mod out there that is a recovery mod that I've used previously. I've used in this series that I really did like, to where when you're if you put a parachute on, we'll use the actual shuttle. For the United States, the U.S. shuttle, we'll use that as an example. So when the solid rocket boosters broke off, they fell down to the ground, and they recovered them. They landed in water, and they had parachutes, and they would recover the solid rocket boosters and reuse them over and over again. That's kind of what this mod did. So if I had solid rocket boosters on the sides of my rockets, which I've featured quite a few times, especially with the Gigamot, but if you put a parachute, I almost called it an umbrella because it's raining outside. If you put a parachute on the sides of those, when you jettison them and the parachute deploys, the mod actually tracks it, recovers it, and actually gives you money back from your launch for recovering that. It's reusable space program or something like that. I'd have to relook it up, but it was a really cool mod, and that's more in line with what Jolly's saying with the reusable rocket. That would probably be easier for me to do as well. I don't know. I may have to give it a shot. I may have to go look up that mod and see if that's something that I can possibly do. My second favorite comment from last episode would be from Gigamut. He said, "I don't know why I have a problem with that word." He's quoting me, and he said, "It's all in the name redneck," and it's very true. I'm Southern as hell. Them there fancy words. He's speaking my language. He says, "Happy days, another great video. I did not notice your daughter in the background." Yeah, sorry about that. And but he says he has hearing problems. Hope I have a great day, and as always, be safe. And thank you as always, Guma, for your kind words. I do appreciate your well wishes that you give me almost every episode. It's very nice of you, and thanks for watching. Okay, commenting on comments is over now. Thank you guys again for your comments. Again, do it again for this video. We'll try it again. We'll do it again. Right now, we are going to our third biome. As you'll see, as you were watching the last one, I kind of messed that one up. I overshot it and did stupid things. So, yeah, it was just bad performance on my part. But here we are coming into our next one, and what's this? What's about to happen? Oh, we just lost our engine. This was one of my biggest fears with this aircraft, is that while I was going to a different biome, I would actually lose all my fuel. I would use up all my fuel, not be, and kind of be in a pickle. But like I said earlier, RCS is going to be our savior on this one. So we're just going to fire up the RCS. We're going to use it to bring us down slowly. As you can see, it's reducing my speed pretty significantly. I mean, it's doing a good job. So what we do here is we're going to slow us down a little bit, and then we'll get a little closer to the ground, slow down, a little closer to the ground, slow down, and yada, yada, yada. We got plenty of RCS fuel in the sucker, so I am not worried about running out of RCS fuel whatsoever. I probably went a little overkill with the RCS. I've got 4 of those small RCS tanks on there. The only problem with this is that I kind of got a little excited and wasn't paying attention to my altitude, and as you can see, it's about to drop below 1,000 meters. So we're coming in hot, coming in real hot, which kind of worried me, because I'm like, if I damage the rocket, we're kind of screwed. But as long as the upper half, I was ready to abort, by the way. I had my finger on spacebar ready to jettison the bottom half and take off with the top half. So I was definitely prepared for the worst case scenario, just in case. But yeah, we're not bleeding off enough speed, so I'm going into kind of panic mode here. It's like, okay, don't lose your power, even though we've got a backup power, solar cell on there. Trying not to lose your ladders. It's just everything. Just retract everything as quickly as possible. Retract everything, and then you'll see there we did end up losing our engine, which is okay because it's out of fuel. There's no fuel left in this thing. And so after getting right side up and coming back down to softly touch onto the ground, that was it. Yeah. So it was a little bit of an accident, a little bit of oopsie. And God, it just sounded like I was talking to my kid. Okay, I gotta not do that again. That was weird. Anyways, yeah, it was a oopsie, and yeah. Also, I didn't download it for this one because I forgot. Like I told you, I'm really bad about you guys telling me about mods and then not downloading them after you tell me about a good mod. So For Science is not on here, so I have to manually reset all my experiments. I did download For Science. It will be featured in not the next episode because it's already been recorded, but the episode after that, it'll be on there. And yeah. So we're going to plant our flag on Minimus, and this is going to be titled 200, and is basically this is a flag. This flag is for the 200 people who made 2017 such a wonderful year. And I again cannot thank you guys enough for getting me to 200 subscribers. Thank you again, and that's my dedication to you guys for my audience, and I really do appreciate you your support and everything. So, mushy stuff over. It's time to go home, people. We got to make sure we get the rest of our science. We're going to suck all of our science into that little bin, which when they added that, when Squad added that, that was amazing. We're also going to make sure that we have all of our life support full. We have our battery full. We have our oxygen full, all the fuel up there that we can, our RCS. We're going to make sure everything is pumped into the actual cabin of the lander, because that bottom half is just about to be ready to be aborted and discarded completely. So it's only going to be our top half returning to Kerbin, which is kind of how the yep, see, there we go. It was a good break. And these 4 little babies are going to be more than enough. Like, I already see just that little burn. I was like, holy shit. I did not mean to do that. I was just trying to get into a smaller orbit. And, of course, since we've got MechJeb and Kerbal Engineer for all, we're going to be able to, utilize MechJeb to circularize our orbit. The more I say it, the better I can. And we'll then scoot our little butts all the way back to Kerbin to have an encounter with Kerbin. Then we'll go into an orbit above Kerbin. And then after we get into orbit, we will set a rendezvous target with the station. And then we'll dock with the station. Pretty simple. It's not that hard. MechJeb does make it a shit ton easier. But, you know, that's just the way it goes. It's, you know, like I've told you guys before, you've seen me do this manually, so we're getting into the automation era of and I actually did completely do the return to Kerbin manually. I didn't like what MechJeb had set up. It was like 22 days later or some shit like that. It was something ridiculous. Then I was like, no, we're not sitting out here for that long. So I actually did the burn myself, because we were on a pretty high orbit around Minimus, and you know, it was just wonky the way that MechJeb did it. And the MechJeb's not going to do everything perfectly, so I did do this one manually. But we'll do the orbital burn, and already said it. Thank you, Jolly Roger. Anyways, we'll do that through MechJeb, and we'll also do the encounter with the space station through MechJeb as well. That way we can dock, unload all our science, and you can see plenty of fuel on this thing. I really shouldn't pat myself on the back that much, but it's a damn good design. It's a damn good lander. I'm so pleased with it. I'm pleased with it. It's awesome. I can't wait to, I don't know what else I could utilize it on. I don't think it's got enough thrust to break moon or to get into orbit around them. Oh, no, it does. It definitely does, because we've already used it for that. So, anyway, we're going to play Ring Around the Rosie with the space station for 1 orbit. And then we're going to have our close encounter of 200 meters. And then and then, of course, this is MechJeb doing all this. I'm not doing this. And there's one thing that I'm pretty wonky on, and that's doing, well, you guys have seen me do it before, is meeting up with a space station or something. MechJeb makes it so much fucking easier. But that being said, yeah, I utilized it. Sue me. You're gonna see a lot more MechJeb in the future, people. I hope you're okay with that. Automation is going to be a thing. And so here we come in, and I'm scrambling around looking for it, and I realized I've got, for some reason, it keeps turning off, so I had to turn it back on. My target, yeah, I don't know why it does that, but we're going to overshoot it just a bit outside. Overshoot it by about 5,000 kilometers, or 5 kilometers. But no big deal. We've killed our velocity towards it. Now we're moving back towards it. And you'll see here, we'll overshoot it one more time because... Oh, no, wait, no, we didn't overshoot that time. I thought we overshot. I thought I overshot it twice. I guess I was wrong. Anyways, so you, for those of you who are trying to do this manually, kill your velocity towards your target. I think we talked about this before. I have to go back and... We've done so many... This is like episode... What, 27 or 26? Episode 26. We've done so much in the series. The series has been going on for a really long time, since like July. It's February. I mean, it's January. I'm working on a schedule in February, so that's why I said February. Regardless, so we've been doing a lot. So I can't remember what I said this, but anyways, you get close approach to it, and you kill your velocity towards your target, which means you're going the same velocity as your target, and then you start burning towards your target, which means you're getting closer and closer, and you keep that balance. You keep bouncing back and forth of burning towards your target and killing your velocity towards your target, because eventually, when you burn towards your target, if you're far enough away, it's going to drift a little bit, and then you're going to drift, and then you got to stop your all velocity towards target, so you're matching its speed again, and then back and forth. And you want to make sure you have target on your map near your nav ball, because it's not your speed over. You're not looking at your orbital speed or your surface speed or anything like that. You're completely and utterly looking at your target speed. So very, very important. Very important. You have to have target on there. If you don't, you're gonna have a bad day, and you're gonna end up never getting anywhere close to this thing. And with our docking mod, of course, it's made easy as well. I love that docking mod. I wish they'd have that built into Kerbal Space Program. We're going to shuffle everyone around. We're going to get our 2 scientists in the lab doing their science things. First thing, so that's going to give us 750 science. That's going to give us 250 science, 120, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like loading it all in there. As you can see, that is a metric fuck ton of science that we're going to get from this. Absolutely crazy amount. But the downside to all of this is that it takes time for that science to get that science, because I have to process the experiments and yada 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 and do all that nerd stuff of processing and doing experiments and stuff like that. So over time you will get more science than you would have had you just turned it all in and on the ground. So roughly, let's call it, I don't know, let's say I got 1,000 science from Minmus. Well, with doing all this, I'm going to get about double that, maybe even triple that. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's actually almost going to be enough to fill out our tech tree to the next point where we need money in order to upgrade our research facility. Anyways, guys, that's taking us to the end of our episode. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching the show. I always do appreciate it. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you did enjoy today's episode, hit that like button. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time for more Kerbal. Oh, yeah, leave comments down in the comment section below. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time for more Kerbal Space Program. Woo!